boss babes and bosses out there. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the hard truths about freelancing. So if you are aspiring or newbie freelancers, this is a good video for you because it will serve as a heads up or a warning or something that you should know before you start freelancing. But kung experienced or seasonal freelancer ka na and you are still watching this, I would also love to know your feedback or your comment about the points that I'm going to share, because I'm just sharing based on my experience and you might disagree and you might agree with the things that I'm going to say now. But yeah, I would really love to know if you're watching this, what do you think my experience, what do you think my point of view is, and I would also love to hear from you guys. So yeah, if you want to know the hard truths about freelancing, na ito yung mga na-notice or na-realize ko over time sa pagiging freelancer, then keep on watching. The first hard truth na masasabi ko na maaaring hindi nyo magustuhan na sabihin ko is that online freelancing is not one of the get rich real quick scheme kind of thing. If you are going to start your freelancing today, like you are going to start building your portfolio today, you are going to start optimizing your profile today, and if you're going to start looking out for clients here and there, that's great. But don't expect that next month you will already have 6 figures in your bank right away from freelancing business. It's not that easy, to be honest. Except na lang siguro kung sobrang rockstar ka na and you already have a portfolio na nagawa mo before. Like for example you are not a freelancer before, you are a graphic designer, or maybe you are a web developer na before sa isang company talaga wherein hindi ka freelancer, employed ka talaga doon. You can use that as a portfolio mo ngayon na magiging freelancer ka, unless you already have that background, unless you already have that power solid portfolio na papakita mo sa mga prospect clients mo, and unless you already have a very good marketing skills. Kung meron ka na nun lahat, then that's good, that's possible. But if you are really starting from scratch pa talaga, like you don't have any experience at all when it comes to working online, or even just the tech, you don't know how to edit photos, or maybe just even basic editing lang alam mo, basic video editing lang alam mo, basic of everything lang alam mo, it's hard to get a client na will give you 6 figures per month agad-agad na first time mo pa. And if you will really get that, that's good for you. Maybe kakambal mo talaga yung swerte. I'm not saying na you cannot earn in a month. Like God, you can earn after a week if super focused ka talaga, and if you are really doing an overtime work and effort, making sure that your profile is good, yung mga ganon. After a week, maybe you can already land. But the thought of having you 6 figures agad-agad in just 1 month, hindi masyadong malaki yung possibility na mangyari talaga yun. So you really have to do the hard work first. Yeah, siguro you can do micro and macro gigs from time to time, no? But it's not guaranteed na it will really work on a long term. Like, kailangan natin ng stable flow of income. Yan talaga yung goal natin as a freelancer, na hindi lang siya pang one-time project. So, as a freelancer, our main goal here is to get clients na long-term talaga so that we can secure our monthly expenses. With that being said, you also have to have the skills in budgeting, like money management, something like that. Because sometimes talaga in freelancing, if you are a freelancer, no, sometimes there are months na marami kang clients. There are also months na yung regular clients mo lang yung ina-attend mo. You have to budget your money. You have to learn how to save para kung may time na wala masyadong clients, at least meron ka pa rin magagamit na money for that month na hindi masyadong maraming clients. What I mean is that merong months na malaki talaga yung income mo. Freelance is also like running a real business. Sometimes mataas talaga yung profit mo, and sometimes konti lang, sometimes normal lang, the average yung ganun. And you have to spend ano lang talaga yung kasya na budget for that month. So you have to know your expenses as well. I've also mentioned this once sa video na to, na once you are a freelancer, ikaw na yung magmamanage sa money mo. It also means na ikaw na yung magbabayad sa SSS mo, sa PhilHealth mo, sa pag-ibig mo, sa insurance mo. Kung employed ka, yung company yung nagbabayad sa your right. Pero kung freelancer ka, ikaw na mismo yung magbabayad sa mga ganun as voluntary payment lang. So, you have to budget your manual. Because ikaw na din yung magbabayad ng ganun. Even your tax, yung ganun, ikaw na din yung magbabayad niyan. So the second hard truth that I'm going to share with you, it really takes a lot of patience, hard work, and more and more and more and more of trial and error stage to get your dream project or to have your own perfect client na para talaga sa'yo. Ito din yung sinabi ko kanina sa number 1 ko na the freelancing is not a game of get rich real quick talaga siya. Hindi siya ganon. It really takes patience, hard work, more on trial and error stage talaga. Especially if you are really starting from scratch, you have to build your profile pa, online presence pa, and optimize it to have more possibility na ikaw yung i-hire kasi makita niya na meron ka talagang alam and alam mo yung mga ginagawa mo. Second, you also have to build your portfolio. The next one pa, you are still trying pa na mag-build ng testimonials from the test clients or from the previous clients that you have. It really takes time, to be honest. It takes a lot of time to perfect the system or perfect your workflow with the client. Even until now, I'm still perfecting my processes. Like, hindi ko pa siya na perfect talaga. Meron pa akong mga little things that I need to smoothen na process. Like, dito ako natatagalan. Dito ako parang hindi masyadong confident when it comes to my processes. Yung mga ganun. Just love the journey. Parang ma-feel mo na this is so exhausting. I'm not really seeing any results sa mga ginawa ko. Like, if you're feeling that way, it's normal, and I also feel that. And even now, kahit hindi na ako aspiring or newbie sa industry, it's normal. You just have to really keep pushing and to believe in yourself that you can do it step by step, no? At the first time talaga when you approach a client or when you talk to a client, it's okay if that client is not yet the perfect client for you. It's okay because that will be part of your learning curve talaga as a freelancer. So, the more na makita mo yung hindi for you, the more it means na malapit mo nang makikita yung perfect project for you or perfect client for you. Kahit matagal siya, it's really worth it talaga. The process is so long, but when you find the right client for you, when you find the right positioning of yourself, when you find the right process, when you find the right people and network that you have, it's really worth lahat ng struggles mo. If you are someone thinking it's been a year now but they still don't have a client, maybe you have to pray more and you have to show up more or reach out more to prospect clients para magkaroon ka talaga ng real scenario or real experience how to get in touch with client, how to talk to client, how to negotiate, yung mga ganun. Yeah, I hope you get that right. That's the hard truth. It's not easy. It's not easy to get that dream and perfect client. You have to work for it. So the third hard truth that I'm going to share with you is that if you're going to start freelancing like really from scratch, it will take more than 8 hours of work para makakita kayo ng real growth as a freelancer. That's the sad truth. I heard a lot of aspiring and newbie freelancers that they want to be a freelancer because they want to ditch their regular 9 to 5 job. But for us here in the Philippines, it's parang 8 to 5 job or 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. kind of job. To be honest, if you want to be a freelancer, especially if you are still starting pa, no, hindi lang 8 hours. More than 8 hours. Because ganito lang yan eh. If you want to see a fast growth, real growth, kahit pa sa freelancing or kahit pa sa YouTube kind of thing, kahit anong business, once you spend or you laser focus your energy to that, makikita mo easily yung growth mo. Yung speed ng growth mo is faster than to part-time lang siyang ginagawa. I would love to compare it sa you are practicing a skill. So, for example, you are practicing a guitar. If every single day nagpa-practice ka morning and then afternoon and then evening, you can really see an improvement the way how you play. In just really a matter of maybe 1 month lang, meron ka na talagang makikitang improvements niyan. But if you are just practicing, kung meron ka lang time, like for example, in 1 month, twice ka lang nag-practice, hindi mo makikita yung real growth mo compared sa yung everyday nagpa-practice ng morning, afternoon, and then evening. You have to laser focus your energy to that thing. If naman wala ka talagang time because you still have these other jobs na bali main income mo talaga, it's okay, but to be honest, the growth will be slow compared to something na you really have to focus on it. Ang ganyan na stage is that nasa first stage lang, yung nagsa-start ka pa lang talaga. Once nakuha mo na yung, na okay na yung profile mo, okay na yung network mo, it will be a stable growth na pwede nang hindi ka na mag-hustle hard sobra. To be honest lang ha, if ako lang freelancer and I don't have an agency and I don't have a team, makakabuhay na yung makakabuhay na sa akin yung isang project sa akin. But because ngayon that I'm trying to scale up, hopefully more this year, yeah, I have a team and I have an agency. So I really have to work more than 8 hours per day. Like, I have work wave 1 sa morning, I have work wave 2 sa afternoon, I have work wave 3 sa gabi. So if you still don't know about that, you can check out these vlogs here. 2 vlogs here, I talked about that, yung mga work waves ko, how I handle multiple clients, how I offboard and onboard new clients, yung mga ganun. I'm sharing with you guys kung paano ko yun ginagawa sa mga work vlogs ko. So hopefully you support that. You can watch these 2 videos here again, please. So ayun, meaning lang, if you are still starting, you have to be willing to do more effort, to spend more time crafting your cover letter, crafting your portfolio, yung mga ganon, and optimizing your profile. It will really, really help you to build that stable flow of clients na. Ang mahirap lang talaga in freelancing is yung pagsa-start, yung pagkukuha ng mga clients. So once meron ka ng strong foundation sa freelancing mo, then it would be really easier na to get more clients in the future. If you have a real main income talaga na mas priority mo yon, you can slowly shift na lang if you can say na, okay, this side hustle of mine, work from home or online jobs, can really help me stabilize na my income even if tanggalin ko yung main income ko. We just really need to be practical kasi meron talaga tayong bills, and that's the truth. Kasi hindi naman pwede na sabihin na lang natin yung bills natin sa ilaw na, wait lang, nag-shift pa ako into freelancing, mag-wait ka dyan. Pag-aaralan ko muna to full-time, and if I can get clients tomorrow, then I can pay you something. We can't do that. We just really have to know what we really want. If we want a fast growth or we want to have a stable kind of growth lang. So the next hard truth that I'm going to share with you is that your rate will be based on your own perception of your self-worth. Like, kung ano sa tingin mo yung self-worth mo, yan yung magiging rate mo. Maybe you notice na hindi talaga ako nagbibigay ng kung ano dapat yung rate na ibigay mo if you are a virtual assistant. Hindi talaga ako nagbibigay ng exact rate. Puro mga sample-sample lang. Puro sobrang mababa or sobrang mataas na hindi mo talaga, oh my God, ano ba ito na rate na to? Yung mga something ganun. Because pricing is really subjective. Pricing is really based kung ano yung sa tingin mo price ng service mo or price ng product na ginagawa mo for your clients or something like that. Ang always kong ina-advise when it comes to pricing, you can also watch these videos here. These are about pricing, how to price your service. Price your service kung ano comfortable ka. Or do a competitive research, check their prices, check their packages, and adjust your rate from that. I cannot also say that, hey, if you want to become a virtual assistant, you should really start at the rate of $2 per hour because that is a starting rate. No, I cannot also say that. But to be honest, I started as a virtual assistant way back 2013, $2 per hour. As I go along my journey, na-realize ko na magbe-base lang talaga yung rate mo sa kung feeling mo ano na yung rate mo for yourself. Kung gaano ka naka-confident sa mga services na binibigay mo kay client. Kung gaano ka naka-confident when it comes to your skills, communication skills, negotiation skills, technical skills, and every skills that you needed for your work. What I'm saying here is that I started $2 per hour. Kasi for me, I'm not sure if I can really do the work for my client. You know what? Let's just start $2 per hour. This is just for me to gain experience and see if I can really do it or not. Yan yung mindset ko before. Nag-start ako mag-bid ng per hour 2013 sa Upwork. doon ako mag-start mag-bill ng per hour. Kasi before, meron akong work before 2012, pero it's more on per project. Mababa din. Feeling ko, pinakataas na yung 10K that time. Kasi yan yung sahod ko nung nagtiteach pa ako. So for me, that is already the max. Kahit sa freelancing or kahit sa mapa-personal, work or physical work rather, when the client said 10K, I'm gonna pasahod you, I'm gonna give you 10K for 1 month. Are you good with that? To be honest, happy na ako nung 10K na yan. Kasi feeling ko I'm already getting what I deserve that time. I don't regret that experiences ko when it comes to mga konti lang yung kasi feeling ko kasi yan yung pinakamataas. I'm really fascinated when I'm trying to rate myself na mas higher. Kasi clients also see that rate na since I know more things na. Like for example, sa $2 ko, nagkaroon ako ng maraming experience talaga. I tried doing a lot of graphic things. I tried doing lead generation. I tried doing email marketing, social media management. Simple task, mga basic task lang. From every task na ma-accomplish ko, parang, uy, kaya ko pala to. Yung mga ganon. The next bidding ko na, mas malaki na yung ibibid ko. Like, for example, meron akong $2 per hour na social media management. Tapos nakita ko, good yung feedback ni client. So, the next bidding ko na, ilalagay ko na siya sa $3 per hour. Ganon. Tapos, iba na naman yung papagawa na hindi na siya social media. It's more on email marketing. This is nice. Ganito lang pala yung gagawin. Pag good yung feedback ni client, ilalagay ko na naman siya sa skills ko. I know how to do email marketing, something like that. So, the next bidding ko na naman, $4 na. Kasi aside from lead generation, aside from social media marketing, aside from email marketing, alam ko na yon. So, I think I'm good na mag-rate ng $4 per hour. So, every time na meron akong ma-accomplish, parang it adds up my confidence na mag-add ako ng rate for myself. So, that's how I started. That's how I started to increase my rate as well. Na parang I'm just really getting experience to the things that I need to do for the client. And I just really make sure that the client is really happy para magkaroon din ako ng mga referral and magkaroon ako ng good reviews. Yung mga ganun. So, that's how I really started. As long as pala that you are so confident that you can do the work, you can really build high. But there's a twist. Hindi siya client. I have a kasama ko sa work. Pinay din siya. Ako mga matagal na akong nag-freelance na to, mga pang 5 years or 6 years ko na in freelancing. Tapos nagka-work kami sa isang project. Itong kasama ko to na Pinay, hindi pa siya naka 1 year, mga 6 months pa lang siya in freelancing. Pero ang first kuha niya na project is $10 per hour. Oh, like, I was so really shocked. Like, really? Is this like parang hindi ka pa nakapag 1 year pero you are already billing $10 per hour? That is so amazing. Tapos sabi niya na yes, because I really don't accept projects na hindi nag-o-offer ng $10 or more. So, pag hindi daw $10 or more, hindi daw niya ina-accept. Like, sabi ko, can I see your portfolio or something like that? Sabi niya na, wala na siyang portfolio. Yung profile niya lang talaga daw sa Upwork kasi yan. Yung Upwork profile lang talaga daw niya. Oh, I see, that's really great. So, doon ko na-realize ko na you can just really rate yourself sa gusto mo na rate without a long-term experience na. As long as you know that you can help the client, you can just really build to the rate you really want. That is the mindset that I don't have before because I am full of fear. Natatakot kasi ako na masabihan na scam. Natatakot ako na masabihan na fraud na, why you are billing me this much? Tapos hindi mo pala ito magawa. Yan yun talaga yung kinakatakutan ko. That's why I started a very low rate just to assess myself. There's no regret then on my end because I learned how to be patient. I learned how to do the hard work. I learned how to, discipline myself. Like, you have to do the work talaga, Sui, in order for you to get this. In order for you to achieve that. It's not really about the per hour rate. It's not really about the premium ticket that I can offer to my client. It's not about that. For me, it's more on na sa kung ano yung character na nabuo ko, kung ano yung values na na-build ko over time because of that mindset. Masasuggest ko, keep on learning, keep on educating yourself, keep getting more clients, big or small clients. It will really help you build your confidence. And that confidence na mabuild mo sa self mo, it will help you to be more comfortable na in asking a higher rate for yourself, for a higher service package na pwede mong i-offer sa client mo, yung ganun. Yeah, the fifth hard truth that I'm going to share with you guys is that you have to think, to act, to decide, to hustle, and to pray like a boss. Like, you really have to level up your thinking talaga if you want to be a freelancer. You have to be so self-sufficient and so resourceful, especially if you are starting from scratch. Being a freelancer is not just like walk in the park kind of thing, like vacation from here and there, sleep all you want kind of thing, living the best life that you have while earning dollars. It's not just like that, it's more than that. Like, parang part of the picture lang siya. Yes, you can really do that basically, because aside from you will have a flexible time, it's good talaga when it comes to financial or money flow. It's really better talaga siya. Most of the time, no, I'm always dragging myself to do the work kasi I have a flexible time, yes. But since I have a lot of responsibilities for my clients, for my team, and even for my agency, meron akong maraming tasks na need ko gawin from time to time talaga. And there are just really times na ayoko mag-work. Like, my mental health is down for now. Like, can I just take an off? Something like that. Pwede siyang mangyari if wala ka masyadong deadline. Pero kung meron kang deadline, you just have to do what you need to do. Especially sometimes, kahit meron pa akong sakit, I really have to finish this one. Kasi nakapromise na ako sa client that this will be done by today. But life happens. Yung mga parang ganun. Kung meron pa sana akong schedule tomorrow, but I have to decline or I have to cancel it, it's because meron pala akong urgent na work. Yan yung the truth. That's the hard truth talaga. It's more on knowing what's your priorities at the moment, doing the hard work, being patient, being more flexible with your schedule, being so understanding because some of the bosses are hindi talaga good, yung mga ganun. Iba-iba kasi talaga yung mga races na magiging boss mo. And yeah, if you have suggestions kung ano pang topic na gagawin ko for our next video, feel free to comment it sa baba and we will always read your comments. And yeah, before I'm going to end this video, I would like to flex the works of my boss babes and bosses inside my group. Check this out. If you want to join our Facebook group, just research I'm Ready to Boss Up by Brixuy. And don't forget to like our Facebook page at BossUpPH and follow us on our Instagram accounts at Brixuy and at BossUpPH. So yeah, hope to see you guys on my next one. Bye!